Hello there, it's Courtney, and welcome to Matchday Mondays. It's been a fun weekend for Liverpool fans, I feel like, but obviously we will get into all this weekend's games so far. Obviously, there's a game tonight, which also us Liverpool fans will have an eye on. But yeah, welcome. Let me know if you're here in the chat, and we'll get into it. I am going to draw this month's Patreon giveaway winner. Well, I say this month, February's Patreon winner, and that was for a Peter Beardsley signed shirt. And also, I'll announce this month's March's Patreon giveaway prize. Sorry, my head's all over here, isn't it? But yeah, we'll get into that in just a second. Patrick's in the chat. I don't know if this is from earlier on before the show because I did see it was already in. But hi, Patrick, and he's mentioned the Women's FA Cup highlights. Amazing for the women's team through in the FA Cup to the semi-final for the first time in quite a few years, I think it is. Jack, hey Courtney, how are you feeling? Not bad, pretty good. My voice does keep wavering. Um, it is. I feel like I feel myself again after this weekend. But I hope you're good as well, Jack. Michael says we're 15 points clear in second. Well, he says we're 15 clear in second gear on the slot. I have seen that song going around. But yeah, that being said, let's get into it. I'll start it off with the prize draw for Patreon. Like I said, it's a Peter Beardsley signed shirt, and that was from when Peter Beardsley was at Hotel Anfield for one of their amazing events. And this was with Red All Over the Land, and you could meet Peter Beardsley. Keep an eye out for these events. Hotel Anfield have quite a lot of them, and so does Red All Over the Land. Red All Over the Land's next one is at the beginning of May, and it is at Reds that I went to for the Man City game. So go and check them out and see whether some of these events they do would be interesting for you. Um, K-Day says, "Hi Courtney, hope you're well. Was you working today? Unfortunately, I wasn't in work today. Been a little bit down, but yeah." Um, Jack says, "I'm good, thanks. Glad you're on the mend. Good to hear." Veronica, hi Courtney. Where are you sitting at the game tomorrow? So if you watch any of my Champions League videos this season, I've been in the same seat all season because I'm on the Auto Cup scheme. So same spot, Lower Kenny, pretty decent view. Really looking forward to tomorrow's game. We'll get onto that a little bit later on in the video. And Dan the man says, "We're well on our way to finally knocking Manchester United off our pitch." To be honest, we have more trophies than Manchester United, so they've been knocked off the pitch for quite a while. But obviously, knocking them off that Premier League titles pitch would be interesting. That being said, though, I am going to do the draw on this app on my phone for the Patreon. I don't know if think that'll be good for you to see. Mainly because it was easier for me to sort through the Patreon list and see who was still a Patreon member and who wasn't on my phone, and so I add it there. So we're gonna go on to that. So as you can see, everyone's names on there if you're a Patreon member. If you're not a Patreon member, you can join in the link in the description below, and you basically get the chance then to win a signed LFC prize each month. And there's not too many people in it at the minute, and I do keep saying once it hits 100 members, there'll be a signed and framed Lewis Diaz shirt from Red 1892 memorabilia to be given away. If we don't reach 100 by the end of the season, that might slightly change, but we'll see how we get on. Just because I want to be able to give it away this season with it being hopefully such a special season. But here we go. So let's find out who's winning the Peter Beardsley signed shirt. And it is John Wright. So, John, I will be in touch with you after this show if you're watching. But John Wright, I was worried for a second it was going to land on Ryan. Ryan won last month's prize. But yeah, John Wright, I shall be in touch with you. Good luck to everyone for this month's prize, which is going to be a signed Darwin Núñez print. The reason I've chose this is I think Darwin Núñez, he's not had the best of luck at times, and a lot of people haven't been showing him the support they should be. And he has proven them all wrong the last two games, I think. Obviously, He had a bit of a nervous first half at the weekend, but second half, he's the reason we won that game. And then obviously PSG, he sets up the goal for Harvey Elliott. So it's going to be a signed print, and that is from Red 1892 memorabilia as well. So massive thank you to them. But yeah, like I said, if you want to be able to win any of these prizes, go and join Patreon in the link below in the description. And yeah, you join the supporter tier. It is £4 a month. Obviously, it depends on where you're based, currencies and all that. So it might be different, but I've set it as £4. Yeah, and you get the chance to win stuff like that. Sorry. In the summer, I am going to work on a lot of stuff for Patreon, come up with a few ideas, hopefully. Um, just with the way this season's been, it's been so much more busy than any of us were expecting. I've not been able to do a lot. So, that being said, let's get into the match day Monday, which is everyone is here for. And obviously, I've got my little notepad with me with all my little notes. And obviously, same as usual, starting off with Liverpool and Southampton. A lot of people, I think, were like, "Oh, it's Southampton. This is going to be easy. The bottom of the table. It's this. It's that." Does no one before that game remember the away leg? Because I do, and it was the most stressful game I've been at all season. And that's like I was at Forest at Anfield. Southampton away this season's been my most stressful game all season. And that sort of appeared again in that first half. First half, I wouldn't say we were playing our best, and because we weren't playing at our best, you could see frustrations kicking in. Obviously, Nunes and Simicus both getting them bookings. That was mainly down to frustration, and obviously as well, Southampton scoring, and that goal for me, where I was in the Kop, I could see it dead clearly going on, and I could see Virgil trying to shepherd the ball, and it was like, "What are you doing? There's a man on. Kick it out, give them a corner, don't care." And he didn't. He tries to shepherd it over to Ali. Miscommunication. Southampton get the ball. Southampton score. For me, though, that was very reminiscent of, I don't know if you remember the mistake at Arsenal away last season, which ultimately led to one of their goals, which was Ali and Virgil yet again. So I think that was a very stressful first half. Obviously, we're going into the second half, and like I said, Darwin Nunes, get behind your players. If you're one of them people who've been slating them, just stick behind them. Like, he's saved us in so many games previously. I don't care what he does. Like, when we don't need him to be that person that gets us the win. Don't care how he performs if we're winning, because he's saved us so many times. And this game was another one of them. He comes out in that second half. I think a lot of us were sort of surprised to see him come out on the second half with the subs that were made. And he gets the goal, the first goal that brings us back into it. Not only does he get that goal, he then doesn't even really celebrate it. He sort of runs back to the halfway line, getting the crowd up, and he's like, "Come on, come on." And then that leads to very quickly after that moment, Darwin Núñez winning us a penalty, which Mo Salah steps up to take and scores. Obviously, there's then another penalty later on in the game from a handball. Salah steps up again, and we end up winning 3-1. But yeah, like I said, first half felt we were very, very poor. That early goal though in that second half killed off Southampton. It was very much all Liverpool in that second half, and the atmosphere when them goals went in, I've not felt it in years, where I've been stood in the Kop. Fair enough, I'm not stood in the Kop as much as I used to, but being stood in the Kop and feeling the ground bounce with the crowds beneath you. I tend to not jump. I tend to stay on my tippy toes and go up and down, just because being smaller than most people, if I start jumping, I get knocked over and that. So I could feel it. Obviously, people who were jumping couldn't feel it because they were making it happen, but it was crazy, 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 crazy game. Also want to touch on, a lot of people realised after the game, Liverpool used 6 substitutions. Now, I did have to explain this to my dad and some of his mates after the game, so I thought I'd mention it on here because there might be a few people who weren't 100% sure what went on there. Now, the reason Liverpool got to use 6 substitutions was because Southampton did the same. Reason Southampton were able to use 6 was, anyone remember early on in the first half, two of their players collide and didn't look great at all, in all honesty. And one of them comes worse off. Can't remember who it was now off the top of my head. But then he needs to be off. You could see he got up and he's like still leaning over, like trying to catch his breath, trying to get back to normal. And I really do think the concussion protocol in the Premier League has got so much better because I think the right thing was for him to go off at that point. Um, so because he was used, that wasn't a normal substitution, that was a concussion substitution, which then allowed Southampton to still have 5 substitutions. But because Southampton had 6 with that extra substitution, it also allows Liverpool to make an extra substitution. So there's a little bit of that in case anyone was wondering what was going on. I'll go through the chat dead quickly. I don't know if it's going to let me. Sometimes it lets me scroll, sometimes it doesn't. I'm going to get my phone and I'm going to check the chat. Um, just so I can join in with yous all. I can see Go Sixers has said hello, Courtney. Hello. Go Sixers, you're in America and keep an eye out tomorrow before the game. That's all I'm gonna say is I might be appearing on something. Might. I've not filmed it yet, which is why I'm saying might. But I'm really looking forward to tomorrow. It's exciting. So keep an eye out for that. Right, let's get this live chat up so I can see what everyone is saying. So, here we go. Bum, 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 bum. Michael said, "So we know all we need is 15 points, aka 5 wins. Do you think Arsenal will lose any more games and make it a bit less than 5 wins?" Sorry. So for me, I think my next game is actually United Arsenal game, and for me, I said to my dad before the game, I went, "Something's gonna happen in this." I said, I can't see an Arsenal win. It's either gonna be a United get a scrappy win like they sometimes manage, or it's gonna be a draw." Obviously, I was quite right. I didn't put a bet on that this time. And I really, really, really don't think Arsenal have got it in them at the minute to beat Chelsea. I think that's gonna be a really tough game for them, so we'll see how that goes. Um The other fixtures, I'm not too sure on who Arsenal have got coming up soon, other than ourselves. But yeah, Jack Courtney's iconic notepad of all the games on it. Yeah, that this is going to be getting replaced soon because I've run out of space in it nearly already. Um, Paolo says, "Always be wary of an underdog." Very correctly. Veronica, are you all Liverpool fans in your family? Yes, except my 2 cousins who are Everton fans. Um, Daffy says, "Another magical moment at Anfield incoming." Fingers crossed. Whether that's on about tomorrow night or the rest of this season. Um, Jack says the atmosphere in the ground was much better in the second half as well. First half, I felt like I was the only one singing around by me. Um, you you're not far wrong there. I've heard a lot of people saying that. I was in the Cop and the Cop was really, really good. But I have noticed this season that the Cop could be in full voice, but the Kenny and the main stand and a little bit of the Annie Road don't seem to join in. Vic says, "If my calculations are correct, Liverpool need 5 wins and a draw to secure the title." Jack says, "Yes, that's right, Vic." Um, Kunso, I hope I've pronounced that correctly, says, "Hi, hello." Go Sixers says the supporters and players looked flat in that first half. Slot got his point across at half time. Different story in the second half. Johnny says, "I'm bricking it for tomorrow. Will you be at the game, Courtney?" Of course, and I'll be bringing the tears as soon as I can after the game. Um, Maybe an hour after the final whistle. It should hopefully be out if everything goes to plan. Um, Daffy says, "I reckon Liverpool winning 7 in 9 of the remaining games." Barry, a tough game tomorrow night against PSG, but I think we can do it. I just hope we outplay them like they did to us last week. Um, Ben, you saw us for tomorrow. Yes, Ben, thank you. I'm on the auto cup scheme, so I'm all good. Um, Mike says, "Luckily, someone next to me explained that rule on about the substitutions. I was panicking. I had a lot of people after the game, and my dad didn't know, and I just went, 'Oh, Dad, how many substitutions was there today?' And he went, 5. So counted them out on my fingers, like we named them. And it was the funniest thing to see him go, 'What have you 6?' And then I explained it to him. Vic says, "I hate how all the good Champions League matches are during my exams." Go Sixers says, "Will do," and then he says Paramount. Um, I don't wanna say, like, the channel because I don't know how much I'm allowed to say, but I'll just say it's the one with Carragher on it, because I don't know how you watch it over there. Because I know there's cable, I know there's streaming. It's all very confusing for American TV, I find, but the one with Carragher on it, for the Champions League, obviously. Daffy says Arsenal will draw against United. Um, Kunseb, again, if I'm mispronouncing your name, I'm so sorry, but I am terrible at pronouncing names. Um, Says Gakpo returns. Dan the man says Arsenal will lose at Anfield. Matthew YNWA. Um, Kunseb again says, I'm guessing you mean treble because you've put 3 trophies. Go Sixers, the thumbs up so you get what I'm on about. Um, so yeah, I'll get back into it now while I've got my phone there, so now I can see the chat. But yeah, by the way, if you're watching, I can see the numbers. Drop a like, subscribe so you can join in the chat. Because I feel like there's always new people watching, and like I sort of like I like to know everyone. There's like a few new people in the chat today that I've not seen before. So hi, welcome to the channel if it's your first time. But yeah, I like to get to know everyone. Like Jack, I know through doing this. Um, Vic, who's a Man City fan, we now know through the live chat. Um, but yeah, there's a lot of people in the live chat that I know because of doing this. So I like to know anyone who's watching sort of get to know you a bit better. But yeah, that being said, let's get back into it. So obviously the next game we've got a cover is the Man United Arsenal game. And like I said, just in that little chat then, I was convinced Arsenal weren't going to win it. Obviously, they're coming back off a defeat by West Ham at the Emirates, which I still think is unbelievable. They've then gone to the City ground for Forest, draw there, which Forest is a hard team to play, I'm not going to lie. And then they go to Old Trafford, and the atmosphere around the game was a bit weird with all the protests and that going on. United at the minute don't think many people like what they're doing, even their own fans. And that's business wise, not necessarily football wise, but it's not helped by the fact football wise it's not being great for them as well. Um, so I think Arsenal might have gone into it a little bit cocky. Um, but I do think ultimately ultimately, we're seeing a little bit of what we see from Arsenal that each season, where they have a little period of time where they just bottle a bunch of games, and this was one of them. This is why I've got a weird feeling about the Chelsea game next weekend. So Arsenal, for me, lucky to come away with a point. If that game went on even 10 minutes longer, I think United would have scored because that last 10, 15 minutes, it was all United. It was chance after chance. I think Højlund was probably the worst decision to have brought on in that point because he just couldn't seem to hit the ball on target at times. Um, but yeah, it was unlucky for Man United, lucky for Arsenal. Um, First half though, Arsenal did have plenty of chances. But I think it showed how much they're missing a striker. Obviously, every one of their forwards at the minute is out due to injury, and it's been like that for a while. Why on earth they didn't sign a striker in January, I don't know. If I was going for the league, say it was the other way around, it was Liverpool, and we got an injury that saw all of our forward players out before the January transfer window. Even if most of them are out, I'd be like, right, sign a backup striker ASAP. We could have had Rashford, they could have tried to get him on loan, could have even bought him probably. You have, is it Asensio Villa as well? Villa took in plenty of players that Arsenal could have easily gone in and took one for themselves, but they didn't. United, though, better chances in the second half compared to Arsenal. Arsenal in that second half, a little bit flat, I'd say. I feel like that goal being just before the break massively, massively um, knocked Arsenal. Let me have a look here. Um, Jack says, if we do go on to win this title, I really want the game we win it on to be an Anfield match. So do I. But also, I was thinking about it last night, and I was like, if it's an away game we can possibly do it at, you'll be with everyone that you know sort of thing. So, like, my plan is if at any point it could happen at an away game, I'm gonna book a massive table somewhere for me, me dad, my dad's mates, any of my mates will probably be there because I know they drink at the same place as me. Um, and just like go everyone, should we watch this together in case it happens and then celebrate it? Because I think that would be such a magical feeling. Whereas at Anfield, yes, we're surrounded by fans, and that would be unbelievable as well and magical. But as well, if it's an away game, you're celebrating it with fans, but also your family and friends, because it's very hard to be able to do that at the ground. But either way, I think it will be unbelievable. Vic says, "Aren't you lifting the trophy at Anfield against Palace?" And Jack says, "Yes, but I mean the match where it's mathematically confirmed." Completely agree with that. Um, Exploring the world of gaming. Hey Courtney, how are you feeling? How are you? How are you feeling now? A lot better, thank you. I hope you're good as well. Daffy says United always turn up against Arsenal. United turn up against the big teams. That's been probably one of very few bonuses for them this season. Um, Vic says, I think the mathematical confirmation will be either Chelsea away or Spurs at home. It could, if Arsenal lose any more points, it could actually be Leicester away as well, which is crazy. Um, Patrick says Man United put up ticket price, which is wrong. Um, I think it depends on the situation with ticket prices. I'm not aware how much they charge and what it is compared to the rest of the Premier League, but I know they got rid of concessions, didn't they? So everyone pays the same price, which I think's wrong. You're taking a kid, it should be a kid's price sort of thing. Ben says, days like this now are why I sometimes wish I was still at school. The amount of bleep I got at when we missed out on 97 points in Kiev would have been worth it, would have been absolutely unbearable. I completely get that. I went to a school in the northeast where I was surrounded by glory hunters everywhere, and they were supporting either United, Chelsea, City. Some of them were Newcastle fans, some of them used to be Chelsea, Man City, Man United fans, and they've now gone over back to being Newcastle fans, which is quite funny. Um, but yeah, I used to get, it wasn't even like banter. I used to get like severely bullied at school to the point where like it wasn't just about the football, it was about the city, it was about me as a person. And yeah, what they didn't realise was that one of the teachers that I had to go and report it to was a Scouser, and I didn't even know that. So that was quite funny. But yeah, I would have loved to have still been at school. My brother is at the minute, and he's at that point now where some of his mates like, yes, they support Newcastle or Sunderland or whatever, but they have soft spots for Liverpool because of how well we play, which is quite funny. Sean says, "Do we still get a Guard of Honour from Arsenal even if the title is won before they come Anfield?" Yes. So how the Guard of Honour works is if you win the league before the end of the season, it's supposed to be every game you play after that game you win it, you get a Guard of Honour from the opposing side, which is pretty cool. Dan the man, Arsenal so hard pressed to find goals of late. They're capable of dropping points in any of their remaining games. They may not lose many, but they're going to draw a few. Draw, going to draw a lot. Johnny says, "I was annoyed United didn't win. They should have. Would have ruined Arsenal's confidence completely. Still, a draw is another 2 points dropped and a bigger buffer for us." Um, Randall says, "Hi, Courtney Greens from Nottingham. Love your fit, so keep up the good work. Lass, you'll never walk alone." Thank you. Um, Vic says, "I think Liverpool will win their 23rd league title before United win their 21st." Michael says, "Saw something on Facebook that made me laugh. Basically, Steven Gerrard is a free agent at the moment. I've seen this myself. So why don't we sign him now and give him a sub appearance? He'd finally get a win a league title." Jack also says, "If we win an away game, I'm driving to Hotel Anfield. Ha 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 ha. I'll probably see you in there." Um, that is my plan already. I hope to God they haven't got something booked in that marquee. Oh, it'd be yeah, that marquee needs to be free for all remaining games now, just in case. Um, bum, bum, bum. Fix says, "I live in the US. How long is the drive from London to Liverpool?" About 5 hours, depending on where in London you're coming from and obviously the time of day and all that. Bum, bum, bum. Fick says, "Judging by Arteta's most recent interview, I wouldn't be surprised if he refused to do the Guard of Honour." And Marcus, hi Marcus, "Are you going to Wembley?" I am, but I won't be on the bus. I am going down on Friday and coming back on the Monday, um, mainly because the day of the final is my brother's birthday. I haven't got a ticket for Wembley, so I won't be in Wembley, but we're gonna go down on the Sunday before the game, soak up the atmosphere, then get the tube back to central London and go and watch it in a pub that we've booked, so I'm looking forward to it. Marcus, I'm guessing you've got a ticket and you're going on the bus, so enjoy. Tell everyone on the bus I said hi, and I might see you outside Wembley before the game. Anyone who sees me at Wembley, by the way, come over and say hi, introduce yourself. I've had a lot of people lately stop me and just say, "Courtney," and then I'm like, "Hi," and we get talking, and then I walk away going, "I forgot to ask what the name is." I'm terrible at, like, thinking what, like, to say. So yeah, if you see me, come over, introduce yourself. If you wanna get a picture, we'll get a picture. I've had that quite a lot recently. There was a guy, oh my god, what Big Frank, he wasn't big, he was a little bit smaller than me, but Big Frank's wife or partner, she watches my videos apparently, and he's bumped into me, took a picture and sent it to her, which was quite funny. Hopefully I get to meet you someday as well. Um, bum, bum, bum. Dan, at what point do we expect to see Jurgen show up at Anfield? Will he wait for the finale versus Palace? I think once it's mathematically confirmed, he'll be there for the next game after at Anfield, and then I think he'd be there last game of the season. Mark says, "You saved lots of money. The coach was too expensive," and yeah, I am. The coach seems to have gone up in price. I don't know if that's to do with fuel. I don't really drive, so I don't know what fuel prices are like at the minute. Um, I was quite lucky, Marcus. If you ever keep an eye on the trains in the future, um, I got an email saying there was a sale on, like a Great British Railway sale or something like that. I got my ticket for £7 for the way there, which wasn't too bad. Jack said Jurgen did say the other day he'll come once the title is done. Gareth says, "Just downloaded my ticket for the final. Cannot wait. My first final since the League Cup in 2016. That was my first ever cup final, that 2016 one, and my last final, which was the only other final I've been to, was last year's Carabao Cup final, and we won it." Marcus says, "No, it's our coach." That's a good price, that. I know, but I wouldn't change our coach for anything. I've not been on it for ages because 'cause I've not been any away games. I've really, like, missed it, but I've not even been able to get an away ticket for anything. Um, Hopefully, you never know, before the end of the season, I somehow get an away ticket, and Marcus, I'll see you on the coach if I do. Going back into the games, we've got Forest against City, and Forest, unbelievable season for them, gets even better, and they beat City, who have started to find their form again a little bit. Not the best still, but they're getting there with the results a little bit better. Um, and Forest coming away with a 1-0 win, which is massive for their chances of Champions League football next season. Forest had the way better chances, and defensively, as always with Forest this season, I feel like really good. Forest for me, if we're going off defences this season, genuinely Forest has had a better season defensively than us. I feel like brilliant, brilliant for them. City, same as all season, in front of goal, just not clinical enough. And there's other little mistakes that happen around the pitch. It's just, yeah, it's City for you this season, isn't it? So I'll just go through the chat as quickly. Thick, what's the fastest ever title win? Most games remaining, was it was in 17, 18? I haven't got a clue in all honesty. Mark, Arteta knows he failed and could face the sack soon if the new director they appointed not happy with him. He's in phase 6 and still bottle every trophy. Um, Jack says, "Was it Liverpool in 1920?" Possibly. Um, Marcus says, "Can't see me getting another away now. Think going all home games though. I might see you at some of the home games then, Marcus." Um, Vic Jack says, "I don't remember how many games we had after the Chelsea defeat." Jack says, "I think it was 7." Um, bum, bum, bum. I'm just catching up on all the chat here. Sorry, guys. Um, Liverpool have been super clutch this season, Mark says. He says, "This is like 1920, Liverpool the road runner of the league." Well, Michael says, "What's your prediction for Wembley? Will it be easy or tough?" I think Wembley will be quite tough. I think Newcastle will be one of the best, I was going to say best away, best opposition fans at Wembley we have seen. Obviously, we've seen a lot of Chelsea, we've seen a lot of Man City recently, and I don't think they've been the best fan. Like, the fans haven't been, "Oh my god, this is a cup final" sort of feeling. I think Newcastle will be unbelievably good, and I think they'll have a very similar flag display to us as they've got now their own fan run flag displays going on at St James's Park, the same way we do at Anfield. So I'd imagine that's going to be really cool. But I do think it'll be a tough game. K Days says, "Stephen Bunton is a massive Liverpool fan, same as me. But Courtney, what are your thoughts about PSG tomorrow? Should we get the job at Anfield tomorrow night?" I think it'll be completely different to what we saw in Paris. And I can't wait to get in that ground tomorrow night. I think the atmosphere should be absolutely unbelievable. Um, Daffy says, "Forest will finish high this season, back to where they belong, Champions League spot." Um, Jack says, "Will be good vibes between both fan bases on Sunday." I hope so, until the game starts, because I'm going to be with my Geordie stepdad, so that's going to be very, very interesting. Um, Daffy says, "Geordie's always unbelievable with fans home and away." Marcus says, "I'll take the 0-0 tomorrow." I would like to see us score tomorrow. I think with the atmosphere, it should happen, but we'll see. And Michael says, "Gladly, Marcus." So yeah, and then next game after the Forest City one is Wolves Everton. A bit of a relegation zone battle. Wolves then picking up a massive point for them, ends up with a 1-1 draw, and that's massive, massive for Wolves. Obviously not in the best position in the league, haven't been most of the season. A point for them is massive. A point when you're anywhere below that bottom quarter of the table is massive. Um, Everton, I think we all know they're going to be safe by the looks of it. You probably find Tottenham in more trouble than Everton possibly. But first half, I feel like it was very equal performances from both sides. I feel like no one really seemed to have played the better football in that first half. Second half, though, I would say Wolves had the better chances in that second half. You could tell we were missing Kuna. I know Kuna? You know who I mean. Um, Obviously, he's been like a brilliant player for them this season. He scored a lot of goals, and there was a lot of times where in front of goal. I feel like if he was there, he would have been the player to score. Obviously, they were missing him, so that didn't seem to happen. Um, Jack says, "Seem like you might be right about Wolves in the end, Courtney, from your prediction back in August." Thanks. Johnny, atmosphere tomorrow is going to be electric. I hope it is so much. Um, Guffy says, "We're going to win the Football League again." And I'm going to follow up with possibly. I'm still not at that point yet. I'm getting there. I'm not at that point yet. I think I might not be at that point until it's mathematically possible. Vic says, "I have a feeling tomorrow will be one of the all-time great Champions League matches. I can't predict which way it'll go. Hopefully Liverpool's." But yeah, going back on, we have Chelsea against Leicester, and obviously Chelsea, a team Liverpool are watching this weekend. I feel like getting ready for that game before the Carabao Cup final next weekend to see if Chelsea can take anything away from Arsenal. And this was a this was a little bit of a flat performance. I feel like Chelsea, the much better side, they had plenty of chances, wasted quite a lot of them. Cole Palmer gets a penalty, and and misses the penalty for what is supposedly the first time in his senior career, which is crazy. Um, Chelsea deserved the win, like I said, the much better side. But give Leicester the due, they did have quite a few chances. Like looking on here, not only did Leicester have 3 shots, them 3 shots were all on target. Um, like I said, did have some decent shots. Brilliant goal as well from Cucurella. If you get the chance to go and watch it, go and watch it. It's amazing. Next game is Spurs Bournemouth, which for any team that's in the top six or the usual top six, this season's been a little bit crazy. Um, Spurs this season, if you're not a Spurs fan, has been hilarious to watch. I genuinely can't see Spurs in this moment moving up from 13th. I think they're going to be around that zone when the end of the season comes. Bournemouth had some of the better chances, plenty early on. How Bournemouth didn't score more goals, I do not know. But Spurs' goal though is absolutely amazing. First goal from Papisar. Um, Nothing Bournemouth could do for that goal. Then you though get to Spurs' second goal, and it's a big stupid mistake from Kepa Arrizabalaga, leads to a penalty, and obviously Spurs scored a penalty, which saw them come back from being down 2-0 to drawing 2-2. But I still don't think it was convincing by Spurs at any point. But a point's not bad for Bournemouth there with their hopes of not Champions League, but European football this season. Um, they could potentially still get Champions League, but that'd take a lot. But European football, that a point is still massive for that. Let's check the chat quickly. Um, Go Sixers, you can say it, Courtney. I am not saying it until it's mathematically possible. Um, Marcus, what are you doing in the national break? Relaxing. I wasn't well earlier this month, Marcus, so I need the rest. I really shouldn't have gone to the Newcastle game, to be honest, looking back on it, but I'm not missing the game at all at home. Jack says Palmer's in shocking form for Chelsea. Yeah, he was beginning this season. I was thinking he's going to win Player of this season. Now I think it will be Salah, but yeah, Palmer like he's completely dropped off the second half of the season. Um, Thick says Chelsea seem very similar to us this season. Guffy says Alison Becker, the Brazilian in our goal. I'm not going to sing the full song. I do love that song, but I'm not going to. Daffy says, let's go Chelsea, dump the Gunners. Mark says, Alisson proved beyond any doubt against PSG why he's currently the best keeper in the world. It was an incredible masterclass. Absolutely agree with that. Amazing. Marcus, hope you feel better. You got last game of the season. Yes, I've got last game of the season. I cannot wait for that. The only ones I haven't got at the minute is West Ham, Spurs, and Arsenal. I think is the 3 that I'm left to get. Um, and Johnny says, "Come on, Chelsea, hammer the final nail." So yeah, going on to the next 3 games left. So we'll get through these quick because I'm aware there's an 8 o'clock kickoff coming up. We've got Brighton 2, Fulham 1. Fulham's first goal, which was the first goal of the game, absolutely brilliant run by Iwobi to assist the goal. Fulham, no defence in there for that first Brighton goal. If you get the chance to watch it, they sort of stand there, don't move. Not great. Um, and yeah, it was all Brighton, other than Fulham's goal. It felt like it was attacking wise. It felt like Brighton had every single attack going. Um, Going on to Brentford Villa, which saw Villa win 1-0. And I've said this all season, Villa, unless it's after a Champions League game, are a really decent side. I was very happy with the draw from Villa earlier on in the season, and I know some people's heads went a little bit when we got that draw. But for me, we were going away to Villa Park, getting that draw was massive. And this was sort of, you could see this in this game. all Villa chances until about the last 25 minutes, where Villa then defended Brentford really, really well. It was pretty impressive. Some of the chances Brentford had, how well Villa cleared them, it felt like. Done really well to seal the win, to be honest. And then we've got Palace 1, Ipswich nil, where probably is the fair result would have been a draw, in all honesty, but Palace win on 1-0. Both teams had plenty of chances. Sometimes it felt a little bit like a basketball game where it's going end to end. Um, Ipswich, like I said, unlucky not to come away with a point, and that point would have been massive for Ipswich. So that is a really harsh blow to them. And then obviously tonight there's a game. I think everyone in the chat who's a Liverpool fan will be keeping an eye on, and that is West Ham against Newcastle, just to see how Newcastle play, and also to see is there any more injuries or concerns for Newcastle before cup final weekend on Sunday, which I cannot wait for. I'm really excited for it. I'm probably more excited for that than I was last season when I knew I was going in at Wembley. And the reason is a lot of people in this chat will probably know is my stepdad and his side of the family are Geordies. So they're all Newcastle fans. It was touch and go with my brother for a second, whether he was going to be a Newcastle fan or a Liverpool fan. But I took him to watch Liverpool Newcastle at Anfield when he was very little, and he fell in love with Liverpool. So thank God for that. But it's also Joe's birthday on Sunday, so if anyone wants to wish him a happy birthday, I'll let him know. It's gonna be fun having his birthday on a cup final and watching the game with him. Because I've never really watched cup finals with my brother. Watched them when he was a baby. We had like one cup final at Wembley. But ever since when we've been in Europe, I'm always at Liverpool to watch the cup final, and he's been in the northeast and other cup finals that have gone on recently. So it'll be nice to watch it with him and hopefully see us win one. But yeah, really, really looking forward to it. So it's so weird as well that on his birthday Newcastle are playing Liverpool, which is quite funny. But yeah, it's gonna be a really, really interesting game. So yeah, if anyone sees me at Wembley as well, I'll be there with my family. Um, do not be concerned if my stepdad has got Newcastle on him. That is normal. He's a Newcastle fan. Um, but yeah, I'll be in my red. My brother will be in some sort of Liverpool gear, I'd imagine. And my mum will probably be wearing red because she tends to wear red if she's doing anything to do with Liverpool. So that's pretty interesting. I'm just gonna go through this quickly. Um, bum bum bum. Fick says, "Did you lose your voice in the Etihad game? Next time, give us the draw and keep your voice." It wasn't actually that made me lose my voice. I had a viral infection. It turns out, which was brilliant. Um, Dan says, "Strange Champions League bracket. If we knock out PSG, we can get to the final without ever leaving England. We get Villa in the quarters and then Arsenal/Real/Atleti in the semis." Daffy says, "Villa January signings, thumbs up." Um, Michael says, "Gotta get ready for work now. Love watching you whenever you're doing videos. Hope to see you soon and hope Anfield again. Enjoy tomorrow night up the Reds." Jack says, "What do you think of the Kirkes rumours towards Courtney?" I don't tend to listen to the rumours until it's like basically confirmed, like to see a player coming to us. I just don't like all the, oh, we might be getting this player, we might be getting this player, because otherwise you'd be following about 100 players. There's that many rumours sometimes. Um, Dan says Alisson's performance versus PSG reminded me of Tim Howard's game against Belgium in the 2014 World Cup quarter-finals. Johnny says I was all right with the draw because you have to get past at least one big team to win biggies anyway. Um, Coach Sixers, the Courtney Derby free. Yeah, it really is. Um, Daffy says West Ham doing upset tonight. A lot of happy birthday Joes, which is thank you. I will mention that to him when I see him on Friday. Marcus says, "What's your favourite cup final?" Probably is last season, just because I was there. It's the first time I've seen Liverpool lift a trophy in person. It was my second ever final. Um, Yeah, probably is that because it was I was so emotional seeing us lift a trophy for the first time in person. Um, Marcus says, "Hope he has a good day." Thanks. Daffy winning the final will be a great present. Happy birthday, Joe. Guffy, Courtney, can I ask what your plans are tomorrow game? For tomorrow's game, I haven't got a clue. I don't know until I'm at Anfield and I decide what I want to do. It also depends how early I get there and all that, how I feel. Um, Also, what's your predicted starting 11 and scoreline? You want to see my predicted starting 11? If you go over to This Is Anfield, I actually spoke to Joanna over there and we actually spoke about what our predicted 11s are. So you can go and check that out. Um, Scoreline, I never predict. Sorry. I just don't like to jinx it. James says at least two trophies coming our way this season. Guffy, the cup final against Chelsea, won on penalties was brilliant. But Klopp's kids winning the final was just unreal. So proud of them. Marching down Anfield Road. Callum says Liverpool win 2-1 tomorrow up the Reds. Um, and Guffy, I'm gonna get there so early for a taco and the bus greet. Enjoy. I'm hoping to be there for the bus turning up because I'm hoping it's going to be a really good one. Um, but yeah, that being said, we've covered everything. I do want to mention quickly because I will be putting a video out about this, and I thought I'll do it on here first. Um, a lot of people are struggling for cup final tickets. A lot of people are struggling for tickets for the rest of the season, and I am getting messaged about them quite a bit. Now, I did put a video out about how to get tickets at Anfield, but I just want to say if you're willing to spend the money on hospitality, the club's website is sold out for basically all games now. Sold out. I checked the other day for all Premier League games on the club's website. Seat Loader, who I worked with just before Christmas, they gave me a ticket for the Fulham game. Um, they actually have tickets still for all games at Anfield this season. So go and check them out. Maybe it's something that, if you're super desperate, can help you. But also, they have tickets for the cup final available, hospitality tickets for the club final, and for the cup final. But they are also in the Liverpool section, so you know you're definitely there. You'll be surrounded by Liverpool fans. Now there is a link to Seat Loader in the description below, alongside the code Courtney5, which will get you 5% off to save you a little bit. Well, say a little bit, quite a bit of money on some of the tickets because obviously, as popularity increases for games, the prices do tend to go up a little bit. Go and check that out if you really, really need to get a ticket. It's probably going to be your only way now to get some games this season, especially probably if you haven't got a ticket for the last game of the season. Hospitality is probably going to be your only way. And obviously, if you're desperate for a cup final ticket, hospitality is probably going to be the only way too. So definitely go and check that link out in the description in case it'll help you. But I'm going to film a video about that and put it over on my socials later on as well. So yeah, might be worth checking out for some of yous. Guffy says, "Oh, I wanted to ask. I saw a hospitality site you mentioned. They do Liverpool away, but I'm not sure they are official. Um, if it's Seat Loader's official with the club. If you're trying to figure out if someone is official with the club actually do have a section where you can see their hospitality partners like Seat Loader, and that is linked underneath the video about getting tickets. So you can go to there and see if that site is mentioned. If not, stay clear of it because it could be a scam, it could be touts. I just wouldn't risk it. But Seat Loader is official with the club. The away thing is what's making me suspicious of that site. But like I said, Se- Seat Loader have got the cup final, which is the only away I think I've seen them have. So definitely, if we get to, I don't want to say it, but if we get to another cup final, I'd imagine Seat Loader might have tickets for that as well. Um, So he says, you say, yeah, the site's not on the Match Break LFC links web page, so I'm sus of it, guys. If you go, yeah, stay away from it. It's either a scam or it's touts. Um, So, yeah, don't go anywhere near it. If you put in the comments what site it is, because 'cause I've got a feeling I might know possibly what one it is, um, I'll let you know. And yeah, it is 1,500, but that is the cheapest hospitality I've seen for Wembley. And then obviously you can get 5% off with the code Courtney5, so that could help people possibly. Um, which and like I said, it is a lot for hospitality, but it's quite fair for a cup final in my opinion. I do agree. I can't afford it, unfortunately. Otherwise, I probably would have got it. But yeah, I just thought it might help some people out because I know some people are paying like £800 for a ticket off someone in some cases, and that's a bit sketchy anyway because you don't know if the ticket's genuine. So we'll see. But yeah, that being said, though, I'm going to end this here and I'm going to go down. We've got 10 minutes until the West Ham Newcastle game kicks off. So, yeah, and John, who won the Peter Beardsley shirt, I'll be in touch with you soon. And like I said, Patreon's linked in the description below as well if anyone wants the chance to win any signed LFC items. This month is going to be a signed Darwin Núñez print, just because I think he deserves the love and celebration after the past two games. But yeah, that being said, hang on. Tony says, "Gotta be careful what sites sell tickets. There have been a load getting turned away with dodgy tickets." Yes, which is why I've said go a seat loader because they're official partners with the club. And if you go to the club's website as well, you can actually find the section where you can see all of their partners when it comes to selling tickets, which means you won't get dodgy tickets. So that is my point there. But yeah, that being said, I'll see you all next time. Which will be tomorrow for the PSG game. And then I will see you on Sunday. There'll be a video from Sunday. I just need to see how long it takes me to upload it with the London Wi-Fi and signal issues. But yeah, that being said, I'll see you all tomorrow. Bye.